campaigns. Backwell Access Group. Backwell Access Group is a small group of disabled people who live in and around the village of Backwell in North Somerset. The group campaigns locally on access issues.
Well, we get things done, you see. People have been complaining about commuters parking in Moor Lane over there, for ages. But we wanted a dropped curb there. We got a dropped curb and then people carried on parking over it. So after a while we managed to get them to put an H box in there, one of those white road markings, shaped like an H, to demonstrate where the drop-down curb was. And people now park at a respectful distance, don't they, from that? And they really won't park over it. Everything we've done, people have said, oh, thank God, There's a ramp up to the WI hall, ramp up to the spa shop.
Yes, and that was Andy's first achievement, wasn't it?
That was Andy's plaque on that one. And the HSBC was a bit of a group effort, wasn't it? Yes. We've got a wider path under the railway bridge, which was vital because it was seriously dangerous under there. I mean, it's still quite narrow, but what could be done has been done. And they were going to widen it to a metre, I think.
Yes.
And then they had to take it back by 10 centimetres to leave room for the snow plough.
We hadn't had enough snow to need a snow plough for years until the winter that the path was widened, and then it did.
I know.
Just to prove a point.
Yes, and then it didn't stop snowing, did it?
Dinah, Alison and the group are currently working on campaigns to create an accessible path around their local lake and to improve access to the local railway station.
And we had a day's campaigning training, didn't we?
We did, yes.
From Simone Aspis, which was very good, very thought-provoking.
At the time, we thought we'd cracked it on the lake, and we were all fired up for our next project, which is going to be the station itself. And so Simone's training was based on how we would go about a campaign to get the station accessible. But we've since used a lot of the toolkit that she gave us further in our campaign for the lake. One of the key points she gave us was to get in contact with local organisations, local schools, local people, and get written evidence that there is a community support and a community need for the project.
How important was it to have advice from another disability rights campaigner?
Well, yes, it was great, actually. And it was good to meet Simone because she obviously was involved in a number of sort of iconic campaigns, the campaign for accessible transport. And, it was really a breath of fresh air, her coming down, give the big smoke from London to tell us all about those kind of campaigning things. I think that perhaps she was more radical than we were.
Yes.
We have the big table, the big garden table out there that we drag in when we need to get people around it and, get all the parish councillors and, it's much more sort of parochial, local. But, it's the same thing and getting things done.
Planning an accessible path around the lake, a nature reserve, has proven complicated and is taking a long time. Throughout the campaign, the group have nurtured support wherever they can.
I've had people come up to me, very fit and able people who jog around the lake, saying, it'd be great to have a safe path to jog around because at the moment it's rutted and uneven and slippery. So an area of the community that I hadn't even given any thought to have sort of come to me and said, this will be great for us too. We've mainly been facilitators, getting all the various people together and then saying, now, this is the problem, how are you going to solve it? And we're almost there.
Our philosophy is very much to make friends and get things done that way, get everyone round the table.
Rather than chaining ourselves to the railings.
Yes, I think that was very effective a long time ago, but not now. And we just keep dripping, chipping away.
Involving local MP Liam Fox has been very helpful.
He gave me permission to name drop, and I find I'll email somebody and ask about something and I get a very woolly reply, and then I don't hear for months, and then I'll say I'll be speaking with my MP on such and such a date, and it would be great if I could have something positive to tell him, and he will want to know what the latest is, and I get a reply that day.
Make friends who can influence people. Your local MP is actually a great resource. Make sure you use them.
What other advice do you have about campaigning?
Even in a small village, there are people with the same issues and circumstances as you. If you can make friends with people, get them round, just form a support group, and then find your friends within the village, where the power is within the village. Parish council, even the schools, the community policemen. Just build outwards from where you are.
And be prepared to ask. If you don't ask, quite often you don't get. And it's a cliche, but quite often things haven't been done because nobody's brought it to anybody's attention.
Yes.
And so just by highlighting an issue and asking for help brings awareness in the wider community. And another thing is the perseverance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a very slow drip feed process.
Yes, never give up.
Never give up, yeah. The number of times we've had letters or emails that said, I'm sorry, but it's getting past the I'm sorry, but to, well, can you do this instead? Or if you can't help us, who can? And finding the right people who have the influence and are able to make the decisions required.
Talk to everybody we can, get them round the table, discuss what needs to be done. But if that doesn't work, we have on occasion said, look, we know our rights. And once the rights are spelt out, people very often capitulate immediately or fairly quickly. And we've only had to do that once so far, but it worked.
Yeah. Though we are a small group, the strength and support that we can give each other is really valuable. And although we have different conditions, the problems we face are very similar, and we can learn from each other's experiences.
There are people who feel very isolated in their local communities, in small villages. So it's important to know that you can, just with 5 people, get round the table and make an impact on your community.